Welcome in, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. Zeke coming at you from my corner of the internet. In today's video, we'll be discussing the mating habits of the West African silverback gorilla. We'll be taking a magical tour of my sketchbook, and with this being my first video here, I feel like there's no better way to get to know somebody than to have them look through your sketchbook. Understandably, a sketchbook is a personal space for practice, experiments, journaling, mistakes, and ideas. And with that said, let's get after it. So coming in hot with anatomy, we got old Arnie here in his heyday. I mean, look at these abs. This guy is a beast. Mr. Universe with biceps bigger than my cranium. This guy could probably bust a watermelon in half with his butt cheeks. Most of my focus had been trained on painting for my job, and I really had been neglecting my sketchbook, and up until about 2020 is when I decided to jump back in. I found a Bernini book at a used bookstore and basically just drew the statues in it. Anytime I'm doing any kind of figure drawing or anything like that, I'm doing any kind of practices, I like to go through and look at ballerinas and dancers because most of their poses, they are very, very exaggerated. This was just a spur of the moment drawing, very Joker-esque, jester type guy. He's probably a real D-bag, but you want to know him. I have no idea what I was thinking here, but I think it looks pretty cool. I do like these two skeletons here taking a selfie. They ain't got no lips, so they can't do the duck face. Gotta wish everybody would quit doing that shit. It's been like 10 years now. This idea led me to the next idea. I really like the kid poking the astronaut with a stick. I had this thought, what if early historical civilization had found a spaceman? Like, don't even get me started. Personally, I think Kim Jong-gi is an alien. I mean, no human from Earth can draw like that. I'm on to you, man. You don't fool me. I like this one. Pretty sure I was referencing a National Geographic photo. One day I went down to the zoo to take some cool pictures of some tigers, but they weren't doing shit. Like, perfect. It was great for live sketches, but I brought a camera. This is just some scratch doodles. There's really a lot going on in this one. This goes to show you where a lot of my inspiration comes from, the love of 80s punk art. Got some unfinished work here. A lot of my sketchbook stuff is unfinished. This is Mark Zuckerberg trying to figure us out. Yeah, just trying to understand the human brain. Mood. I mean, we've all been there. You got all these troubles coming at you, and all you really can do is just give it the finger before it takes you. This little guy is cool. You're probably noticing that a lot of this is in black and white. I mean, last year I'd been focusing on lines and not color. Doing this crow actually made me think of The Crow, the movie. Brandon Lee, one of my favorite graphic novels, one of my favorite movies. James O'Barr is boss. I don't even care what anyone says. This movie is boss and still holds up today. If you haven't seen it, you might want to do yourself a favor and go and watch it. I'm sure it's on any streaming network that they got out there right now. This is great. This is my buddy Billy, Wild Bill of Caveman Productions here on YouTube. This was my last drawing of the year. I was in a bumpy ass car ride drawing it. Got Wild Bill here just power gripping his vape while he white knuckles it down the interstate for 6 or 7 hours straight. I drove out to see him 3 hours away, then got in his truck and hauled ass down south to our old neighborhood where we had a annual New Year's bash. Good times. This is just some randomness I came up with. Any excuse to practice hatching and cross hatching. I've been trying to channel my inner Franklin Booth. This guy's one of my favorite illustrators. The man's work is insane. Artists like him and Bernie Wrighton, I mean, they take it to the most impossible lengths. Absolutely amazing work. Check out their work if you haven't seen it. I mean, the style had me really captivated. It totally captivated my imagination. And this one right here, this is Merlin's Death, I think. Just a recreation. I've been experimenting with that style and trying to implicate my own to it. It's just a million little lines. This is Perseus here with Medusa's head. I think I drew it from a picture of a statue. This one right here, this is an exercise I like to do where I just draw with the pen. It's good practice. You have to basically commit to your lines. This process can be frustrating, but it's really good practice. Here is a good example of me trying my best to get that feel of a Franklin Booth illustration. Cross hatchings, just experimenting with lines. I think I got this one from a statue of Poseidon. Unfinished sketchbook piece. Things I'm famous for 100, please. Hunter S. Thompson would type pages upon pages of Hemingway just so he could feel the flow of Ernest in his fingers. I mean, that's the same here. This is just a recreation of a Franklin Booth illustration. It was one of those days when you're in the zone and you're just going at it for hours and hours on it. I really want to say that this took me probably about 8 hours in one sitting.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes I have no life. What do I say? Here's another Franklin Booth recreation. Oh, look, we got some color here. I knew I had some color in here somewhere. I mean, nothing really special, but hey. Like the most minor amount of color. Sometimes you don't feel like using your brain, and that's basically when you draw an apple. Yeah. I think this was in Prismacolor pencils. Here I was just working on faces. I seen a picture of a baby and he just had this really sad look on his face, so I drew it because it was all in his big eyes, and this guy looked absolutely content with his life, and I just wish I felt that way in that moment. Always remember your sketchbook is a place for your ideas. You know, any idea that I ever have starts as a page in my sketchbook, and that's how something like this turns into something like this. Sketchbooks are just rough drafts of other things you're gonna do. ideas. This is where I put most of my ideas.
As I walk through the valley of the shadows of death, meet the Lord, a blunt and a tech. It's been a great year, shit, I gotta confess. Brothers acting like sisters cause they got a complex. I'm elevating, they deteriorating, and I've been detecting the bullshit that I'm facing. In this mathematical game of calculation, must have concentration. Obsessional liars, they just lying about the basics. Even Einstein couldn't finish this equation. Braveheart slave ship, everybody wasted like we've been hazing. Now who's amazing? Bought a pill from Bill, now I'm feeling like I'm Jason, but my name's Devino. Bad hoes want the kid everywhere Devin go. Cast team looking for a BD centerfold. Qualified pigeon toed. We not doing what they say, no, we doing what we want. We not doing what they say, no, we doing what we want. Just another day, nothing's any good. I'm sleeping on my cardboard. I'm exhausted, just came from a long tour. I guess I'm giving piggyback rides on all fours. But once I capitalize, I feel like we're all cured.
Well, that's my piece, you guys. Thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. I hope you guys enjoyed my sketchbook. And in my next video, we'll walk through my painting process while we talk about some of my favorite landscape artists. I live close to the Smoky Mountains, so a lot of my work is aimed at locals who love the Smokies and tourists who want to bring a memento home for their time here. Big shout out to Wild Bill for helping with the intro. Go check out his page if you like the music that's playing right now. He shoots music videos, edits, makes logos. This dude is a jack of all trades. If you're looking for somebody to help you with any of your media needs, go check him out. The link is in the description.
Who you jamming on anyways?
Cardi B.
Cardi B, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Tune in next week where I shave a mountain landscape into a cat's side with a pair of clippers. If you guys want to see more of my work and more of the things to come, make sure you do all the things that you're supposed to do, and we will be seeing you guys again soon. And for now, I'm going to go out and do something productive.
Turtle,